Hello, I'm Brian Kurth with Revere Skills-Based Volunteering Software, and welcome to 3 Tips in 3 Minutes for CSR Leaders. And with me today is Fadi Qassar with Venture to Impact. Fadi, welcome on board.
Thanks for having me.
So Fadi, tell us a little bit about Venture to Impact before you offer up your 3 tips.
Of course, Venture to Impact is a nonprofit organization that focuses on bridging the tech divide, and we do that by leveraging design thinking and the skills of skilled volunteers from various tech companies to support communities and organizations that need those skills but can't afford to access them.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, what are your 3 tips this morning?
Great. So my tips are going to be centered around measuring your impact for your skills-based volunteer program.
Perfect.
And what I want to say is that it's all connected. So my 3 tips are to have 3 really specific types of measurements to help you measure your impact of your program. The first one is to have a theory of change. So a theory of change is a comprehensive description and illustration of how and why a desired change is expected to happen in a particular context. So if you're a CSR leader, you really want to understand what is it that you want to achieve globally in your skills-based volunteer program? Is it about bridging the tech divide? Is it about creating better educational outcomes? You know, when you do non-skills-based volunteering, the hands and hearts, it's really easy to measure the impact. You went to the food bank and you stuffed 3 boxes. Right. Now the impact is 3 boxes. But when it comes to skills-based volunteering, a method like the theory of change to understand the inputs and outputs, and additionally, what are the outcomes? What are the things that happen because you taught English or because you built an organizational app? This will come through your theory of change. The second framework that I want to offer up is called an OIMF, or an Organizational Impact Measurement Framework. This is a living document where you keep track of your impact measurement metrics, like numbers of volunteers, nonprofit satisfaction level, money saved because you've created that solution. It's a really manual, tedious document. You can get interns on it, you can get junior staff, but essentially you're trying really hard to capture information about all of the different things that you're doing in your volunteer program or in your impact program, whether it's skills-based volunteering or other impact programs, to flow back into that theory of change, to really ensure that there's a clear line between programming and the ultimate outcome that you want to achieve in that theory of change.
Awesome.
And then the last thing that I want to offer up is a project by project monitoring, evaluation, and learning plan. This is called a meal plan in kind of the nonprofit lingo. And this is the place where you, as a CSR leader who is supporting your colleagues in executing a specific skills-based volunteer program, get to go at the end of the program and measure the change that happened because of that specific intervention. So when you supported an organization by creating a strategic plan for them, what happened for that organization? Did they increase their confidence and are able to raise money to support their programming? Are they able now to scale up the number of women that they get to engage in technology and entrepreneurship training that they host? Like, what is happening specifically because of that program that you invested in? So that level goes back into the OIMF. And at the end of the day, it gets back into your theory of change. And you can see how the problem that you're seeking to solve in the theory of change is actually playing out into your community.
Full circle.
full circle.
Yeah.
In addition to these 3 tips, I just want to offer up 3 keep in minds, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 1 is co-creation and co-design. As an organization, we adopt a human-centered design approach into each step of our impact measurement. What that really means is that we don't decide outcomes for participants, for local participants, for the nonprofit partners, for the volunteers. We have consultation processes to really make sure that we're all aligned on the goals that a project can create, and the metrics that we're putting forward in the project monitoring evaluation learning plan are metrics co-designed by everybody. So this is a collective success, and it's co-designed together. So make sure that when you're putting together a project plan, there is an element of co-design to really ensure community participation.
Accountability and stakeholdership.
Exactly. GBA plus and intersectionality, gender-based assessment or analysis and intersectionality. So this, another tip is collect disaggregated data. It can be awkward, but it's so worth it because it's going to inform you how you implement your plan and the larger picture that you're trying to change. So maybe you ran an entrepreneurship program, 15 of your volunteers participated. You had 200 community members show up to this entrepreneurship program that your employees helped lead. But at the end of the day, you realize because you collected this aggregated data that only 15 women participated. Then you start to ask yourself questions. Why did that happen? Do we need to offer daycare services because women are burdened with childcare and they can't show up to this program?
Right.
Do we need to offer transportation? Is there jealousy because whatever, right? Like understanding what is happening from an intersectional standpoint, from a gender-based standpoint in your programming is really important. And then finally, be realistic. I'm a nonprofit. You're gonna, as a CSR leader, you're gonna be talking to other nonprofits. We are slammed, we're stretched, super, super thin. Our staff and our budgets are at capacity. So be really, really intentional about what is it that you want to measure. What is most important for you to know about your programming, and what support are you going to be offering?
Don't try to be all things to all people. It's impossible.
Exactly. It's impossible. And be strategic and ensure that you're able to offer support to complete the measurement of your program. Measurement of your program is not an add-on, it is a part of the program. A program is only done when the measurement is when the evaluation is done and the measurements communicated out. Maybe over 3 minutes, but these are my 3 tips.
It may have gone over a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay. This is all valuable information. So Fadi Qassar of Venture to Impact, how should folks reach out to you? What's the best way for folks who just listened through your really 6 wonderful points? How can they and should they reach out to you?
LinkedIn is great, Fadi Qassar, and Instagram or our website as well, venturetoimpact.org.
Perfect. Fadi, it's always great to see you, and look forward to continuing to work together. And thank you so much for offering up your 3 tips, really 6 tips, in 3 or so minutes today. We really appreciate it. Always great to see you.
Thanks.